everyone, Lisa Harrison with MarineMax here, and I am in the Mercury display. We are talking all things power. With me is Jeffrey Becker. Would you introduce yourself, let the people know who you are, and what are we standing in front of?
Absolutely. I'm Jeff Becker, the category manager for 150 horsepower and above outboards at Mercury. And this is the 7.6 liter V12 600 horsepower Verado. We're excited. It's the first time it's at Miami. It's about a year old in the market, but the first time that we're able to bring it to the Miami Boat Show and kind of let everybody see it in person.
Yeah. Well, so your boat's really nothing without power, right? You basically have a canoe. 600 horsepower seems a little excessive. What brought you guys to creating this?
Yeah, so it's, with all of our outboard engine programs, this was actually a 5-year process for us. So we started this in 2016, and we start with a lot of market research.
Yeah.
We look at where the market's going, a lot of the trends, and what you see, and is pretty obvious now, right, the growth in outboard powered boats.
Right.
Length, width, more amenities, specifically the saltwater center console market, but then also, we've seen it in segments that are traditionally powered by diesel or
Right.
inboards that are moving to outboard. And so when we looked at what everybody was looking for, previously they just put more outboards on the back.
Right.
We thought there was a better solution, higher horsepower, provide those customers the opportunity to consolidate and really get more power, more innovation from an outboard engine.
Right. Okay. So innovations aside, what is the benefit of one 600 over two 300s?
Yeah, so really it's boat dependent. We've seen some test data, with everything that this engine brings. So there's a 2-speed transmission to get the acceleration. So we see improved acceleration, improved fuel economy with one less gear case in the water and all the blade area of the dual prop, while maintaining a similar top speed because you still have 600 horsepower.
Right. Okay. So now let's dive into the innovation, because there's a lot going on, a lot of new things that I feel like the entire marine industry is going to pick up on, right? If it's not already patented. For instance, you see, it does not turn like a normal, motor. And what's the benefit here?
Yeah. So one of the things, as we went through our development, and we started to get into, the size of what the outboard would be. The steerable gear case really came into being, allowing us to minimize how much transom space it took up,
right,
but also maximize handling. So when you think about traditional outboard steering and all the weight shifting back and forth on an outboard, you eliminate that with this. So you get a lot steady ride, especially around the dock with joysticking and everything else. You get better handling with the gear case and being able to have a larger steering angle.
Right.
And then the contra-rotating propellers for efficiency, acceleration, fuel economy, everything else.
All right. So we have you here, and there's one that's kind of cut open that I kind of want to dive inside.
Absolutely.
So let's take a walk over here and talk to me about the features, because I know this is where some more of the innovation you can actually see what's really cool about the V12. I don't know, start like top to bottom. I don't know. You want to give me like an overview here, because I know there's a lot.
Yeah, so you can see the engine block. So the 12-cylinder engine block. Really it's built off of a similar architecture to what we had with our V6 and our V8.
Mm-hmm.
So we launched that platform in 2018, built off of that to get the V12 600. But one of the really cool features about the top cowl in the engine really came out of that market development and the idea of service and maintenance.
Yes.
So with these big, heavy boats, service and maintenance is a big deal. With traditional outboards, every 100 and 300 hours, having to pull the boat out of the water to do gear case, oil, things like that. So we essentially kind of reinvented maintenance with this engine. So the first thing we did was extend our service intervals. We went to 200 and 1,000 hours.
Thank you.
So every 200 hours is your service. The second thing we did was this cowl hood. So there's an electronically actuated latch. You push, hood pops open, and from the inside of the boat, or while the boat's in the water, you have access to all of your 200-hour maintenance points. So you can fill and drain engine oil, change your oil filter, you can change your transmission fluid, change your gear case lube through the hood. So the boat doesn't have to come out of the water. You're saving haul-out fees, you're saving all that hassle. Everything at every 200 hours is done here. Through the hood. The entire top cowl doesn't have to come off for 5 years or 1,000 hours. Yeah.
Well, that's, incredibly game-changing, especially like when you're talking to like dealers, and obviously you buy a boat, you got to bring it back to your dealer, help get serviced. What are they saying about this new design?
Yeah, I think they're very happy with the easy maintenance, the easy service. the ability to do that and keep the boat in the water, right? It's less time that it takes. It's more time for the customer to be on the water.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not waiting to get the boat hauled out and do all the service, put it back in, right? It's easy on the back of the boat. Some of the dealers with mobile, you can easily go to the customer's house and do it all, on a lift or in the water, and just, simple service and maintenance.
No, it is simple and it's fabulous, and it's a very popular product, right?
Yes, we are building them as fast as we can. We're seeing them all over the show here in Miami on a lot of applications that we expected to see, but we're also seeing applications that, when we launched, we didn't expect. So,
such as?
We're starting to see a number of single-engine pontoons that, is a somewhat niche. We expected the multi-engine offshore saltwater crowd, the large kind of runabout cruiser, but the single-engine pontoon is one that's starting to catch us by surprise.
I gotta tell you, though, you load it down with a bunch of family and friends, you gotta move it, right?
Right, and it's, another benefit from the pontoon or the steerable gear case is you have a fixed engine. So you can design a transom, you can get more space from a pontoon. It's a benefit for some of the larger boats as well. You can really design your transom around, within inches of the engine because it doesn't move.
Okay, so this is actually gonna change boat design.
Yeah, we've seen it already. There's a few builders that have changed transom design to accommodate this engine and really maximize kind of space around the transom.
Yeah, incredible. All right, so we could talk a lot about all the cool stuff. Is there anything we missed that you think is very pertinent for people to know about the V12?
Yeah, so the other big innovation on this engine is, again, when we looked at market research, acceleration and getting that boat on plane, being able to see the horizon again and kind of get your bow back down. So this engine has the industry first 2-speed transmission, so built into the midsection. So it's an automatic transmission. First gear is all about acceleration and getting the boat on plane.
Yep.
Then engines, multi-engine, single engine, all shift into second gear for kind of cruise speed and wide open throttle. Most people that we've had on the boat, if you're not watching the tachometer, you miss the shift. It's so smooth and quiet. And you get that efficiency, you get the acceleration, you get everything from that transmission. And then the other added benefit is all your shifting then happens in the transmission, so you have no shift clunk. So in joysticking, into and out of gear, slow speed operation, very smooth, very refined.
Yeah, and I also hear very quiet.
It is very quiet. It is on par, kind of as quiet, if not quieter, than our 300 horsepower V8.
Yeah, which is incredible because it is a lot of power. Well, excellent. If you have not checked out Mercury's V12, you have to. There's a ton of videos online. Check them out on their social media channel or on their website. Or you can always go to MarineMax.com. We've got some fun stuff for you there, too. Thank you for joining me today, Jeff. Anything else you want to say?
No, thank you. We're happy to be here in Miami. We missed last year, so it's good to be back and seeing all the Mercury engines out there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We'll see you out on the water.